Lockport Township High School, District 205, parents and guardians. My name is Dr. Bob McBride, the Superintendent of Lockport Township High School, District 205. And this video is really to communicate with you and be in partnership with you about what happens when a lockdown occurs. If you give me a few moments, I'd like to take you to the inside of what is taking place when we lock down our facilities. On Tuesday, September 16th at 4:23 p.m., we had an accidental dial of our lockdown system that put our facilities in lockdown. Now, in the 7 years that I've been superintendent, we've had accidental dials and accidental button presses. We've had contractors come from the outside who accidentally pushed our lockdown alarms in the hallways. We've had very credible phone and internet threats that motivated the Lockport police to put us into lockdown. And thankfully, we've never had a violent offender on campus that would also cause a lockdown. But in all of those situations, from a misdial to a real situation, we use our lockdown procedures in the name of student and staff safety. A lockdown can occur on our campus when anyone, student, staff member, witnesses something that they believe could be a violent threat to our campus, or receives information via phone, via email, via website that could threaten the safety of our campus. We can use phones in our offices and classrooms or blue buttons in the hallway to alert the entire campus that we are going into lockdown. So what happens when that lockdown alarm sounds? The very first thing that happens is all of our staff members are trained in lockdown procedures, whether they happen in the school day or they happen outside of the school day. And the key is for adults to get students out of the hallways, into safe spaces, locked in, and clear of anything that could happen in our hallways. Immediately, a team of leaders or administrators are trained in incident command. They establish a command post, whether it's a principal's office or another safe site. A senior leader will identify her or himself as the communications officer and another leader as the incident commander. The communications officer is in charge of making sure that all of the known information in the building is communicated out to others. The police, communicated out to other leaders and administrators, to our public relations department, and also working with the incident commander, who will, in the initial stages, be in the hallways and make sure that we are actually in lockdown. One of the important features of whenever an alarm is sounded, immediately every member of the Lockport Police and every staff member in our system receives a phone call and a text on their mobile phone and their desk phone. So we are all notified that the system is in lockdown. We have that communications officer because one of our goals is to immediately get information to you as parents. We will always tell you what is happening on campus. We will have outbound communication that goes to you via phone, via text, and via email. It is very important that you check your phone for any messages that come through electronically. And as I said, we will tell you exactly what happens. It's also important that you check Infinite Campus and make sure your email and your phone number is up to date. There are 3 things that I would ask you not to do. The first is I would ask you not to go to Facebook or any other social media. Listen to our outbound communications. We have oftentimes found that social media in these kind of situations is filled with disinformation, misinformation, and sometimes panic that can really, really rattle all of us. So please avoid social media as a credible source of information. The second thing that we would ask you to do is do not come to campus. It is one of the most unsafe actions that parents can take. You can be a secondary crisis. If you come to campus, you likely will draw away administrative or law enforcement resources that are trying to keep your children safe to work with you. Additionally, when we have large groups of adults coming to campus, they can block roadways that we need to get safety vehicles. Also, we don't know who you are. We don't know if you are a safe person or if you are an unsafe person. And you could draw resources, as I said, away from the mission of keeping children and staff members safe. The final thing we would ask you not to do is please do not call or text your children with directives that you do not have enough information to give them. You do not know what's happening in the building. You do not know what situation the Lockport police are in. And to text your child or call your child and tell them to do something that actually could be contrary to their safety is not advised. So 3 things that we would ask you not to do in partnership. Please listen to our communications. We'll always have them out to you. Please do not go to social media. Please do not come to the building or the site. And please do not give your children directives. That incident command structure changes quickly when the Lockport police show up at any of our facilities. And this could be any of our facilities, because when one facility goes into lockdown, that communications officer lets our transport center know, lets our other buildings know. We put all of our buildings, even our buses, if we have students aboard them, into lockdown. When the police arrive, this is very important for you to know. That administrative team now continues communications, but is primarily communicating with the police, because the police take institutional control of our facilities. They determine what areas are safe or unsafe. They very quickly, based on what they know, develop a plan to sweep the campus and make sure that everything is safe and secure, or make sure that a perpetrator is found and addressed and safety is restored. They sweep outside of our building. They sweep the inside of our building. And the decision to either evacuate the building, release classrooms, is purely a law enforcement decision, as is communication. Law enforcement, as they take institutional control, will be directing us on what information is safe to release and when. So if you ever hear a delay from us, it is because we are working with law enforcement to first and foremost make sure that our facilities are safe and secure, and if there is a perpetrator, that perpetrator is found and addressed in the name of safety and security for everyone. When a lockdown comes to an end and the Lockport police tell us to lift the lockdown, or they release students from various areas of the building, then we go into an end of lockdown mode. We always communicate with you that the lockdown is complete. We communicate within the building that the lockdown is complete. And if we can, we resume normal school day or activity and athletics functions. The final thing we always do when it's completely over is we sit down with the Lockport police and every leader that was involved to debrief what happened. And most importantly, what did we learn? Every single time we've either had a drill, we've had someone misdial or mispress a lockdown button, or we've had something that concerned us enough, a threat that we received that was so concerning that we went into lockdown, we learned something that makes our system better. I am very glad to report to you on September 16th, 2025 at 4:23 p.m. Every single member of our staff and all students on our campuses did their duty. They went into lockdown here at East Campus, at our transportation center, on our buses, and at Central Campus. The Lockport police were amazed at how quickly we put our facility into a safe situation. And we were equally amazed at how quickly the Lockport police responded. Thank you so much for listening to this video and going inside of a lockdown with me and deepening your understanding of what to do and what not to do in a lockdown situation as we take seriously our #1 priority, and that is keeping your child safe. Please be partners with us in that very, very important work. Thank you.